This video is a warning to Dolphins fans. I think Miami is fixing to try to give us false hope. What is up, Fin fans, and welcome to Fin's Temporal Focus. Couple things I want to talk to you guys about today. Of course, it's been a long week. We had a long layoff between the Thursday night game and then we've got the Monday night game. Real quick, there's a couple things before we get into the heart of this video that I want to talk about and also show you. My beautiful wife just got back off of a cruise, and I want to share with you guys something she brought me back that I think is so cool, and I want to thank her on here. Is this not the coolest thing ever? Haven't got to put it up yet because, well, for one thing, I usually use text for everything, and the spot was a little bit small, so I've got to rearrange a little bit. But beautiful artwork. It's funny, when she gave it to me, I actually thought it was a skateboard. I'm like, why is she giving me a skateboard? But even though it's a really cool looking skateboard, but apparently it's kind of like a small surfboard type thing. But just want to thank her and tell her that I love her, and this is brilliant. You couldn't have done a better job. Perfect. That being said, a couple more things I want to get out of the way before we get into the heart again of this video. I want to thank a couple of commenters on my last video. Great conversation. I know we didn't see eye to eye on stuff, but I just wanted to thank them for coming in and stating their opinion. Jeff Kelb, 5383, Axe to Grind, I love that name, Axe to Grind 244, and Stock Handle 123. Thank you guys for commenting and giving some opinion and your thoughts on Dolphins fans or Tua or whatever we were talking about. There was a few things, McDaniel, and I love that stuff. You don't have to see eye to eye, and it was a great conversation. I really enjoyed it. You can check it out in the comments section. And the other thing I wanted to make a note of, and I don't know, maybe I was just so distraught from the Buffalo loss that I didn't bring it up, and I apologize. If there are any Bills fans that are out there, I wanted to give a shout out to what Dion Dawkins, the left tackle for the Buffalo Bills, and Andrew Whitworth, who is the commentator for Thursday Night Football. They have gotten together, and if you don't know who Andrew Whitworth is, I just wanted, real quick, 16-year vet, probably going to be Hall of Fame. He played tackle, he played guard, Cincinnati and Los Angeles Rams. Of course, got his Super Bowl ring with the Rams. Really cool thing that they are doing. I am big on the trenches. I am big on offensive line, and I don't think they get enough credit. And they have went in together to spark a new award for the NFL, which is Best Offensive Lineman of the Year, and they're calling it Protector of the Year. And I think it is absolutely brilliant. There is times, I know they're probably never going to get MVPs and stuff like that in Super Bowls, but there's been a few times where I've said the MVP of that Super Bowl was the offensive line. Washington Redskins against the Denver Broncos, the offensive line. I know I believe it was Timmy Smith went off in the running game. And wow, I went completely blank on the quarterback. He used to play in Tampa Bay. He ended up getting his Super Bowl. Doug Wilson. Not Doug Wilson. Doug Williams. Doug Williams. He went off in that game as well. But it was the offensive line. You can't put up those kind of numbers. I mean, Denver couldn't do nothing against that offensive line. And there's so many other teams. When you look those Dallas teams, I know you got Emmitt Smith, Troy Aikman, but look at that offensive line. You know, I don't think they get recognized enough except for penalties, and I think it's an absolute great thing what Deion Dawkins and Andrew Whitworth are doing, and my hats are absolutely off to you guys for recognizing the offensive line. I think it is absolutely brilliant. I also want to talk about last Sunday they had the throwbacks for CBS. Brent Musburger. It was absolutely, I cried for the biggest portion of the NFL today. It was very heartwarming. Loved seeing him do his thing and do it off the cuff. They even made the point at one time he didn't even have a teleprompter. He was making it up off the cuff when they were doing their little pick segment. And Brent Musburger just absolutely brought back tremendous emotions for me. And my wife even got emotional, and she's not even a football fan, but she got emotional. So great job by CBS on what they did for Brent Musburger and doing the throwback, talking about the old times, and it's always fun. That being said, I think that is all the little notes I have. The gist of this video is I am really afraid, and a lot of people are going to say, dude, you've done lost your mind. Leave a comment if you think I have. Subscribe, bell, all that stuff. But I'm looking at the records for the AFC, and I'm scared. I'm scared that Stephen Ross is going to look at this season as a success if Miami pulls some wins out, which they are very capable of doing against some of these teams that they're going against. But the reason that I'm bringing this up is because of the AFC. I don't want to get caught up in it. I will. But I'm warning fans, don't do it. It is absolutely smoke and mirrors. But we also have to be realistic. When you look at the AFC right now, you have three legits. The Buffalo Bills, which they were going to win the division. I predicted them to win the division way early. Everybody knew they were going to win the division. You got the San Diego Chargers, which I knew would be improved. They have learned how to win. The win against Denver and the win against Kansas City, they were tight games, but that's how winning teams do it. You have those tight games, and you learn how to win. And I feel like San Diego may have. I'm sorry. Los Angeles, the Chargers. The Chargers have turned that point. And then you have the Indianapolis Colts at 3-0, which people really gave us down the road because they blew us out in week 1. But let's be honest, they look good. They, other than the win against Denver, where they kind of got a second chance in that game to kick the field goal. So they could be 2-1. Denver could be 2-1, But again, you get a chance, you get an opportunity, you go win the game. That's what they did. They're 3-0, and Denver is 1-2. That being said, your 2-1 teams in the AFC are the Cincinnati Bengals. I don't think anybody is worried about Cincinnati. Pittsburgh, we really don't know who they are. I really thought their defense would be better this year, but it's not as good as what I thought, at least not early. Which I do think defenses take about 4 weeks to really get caught up. So we'll know more after this week, I think, with some of that. And then you have Jacksonville at 2-1, which is somewhat of a surprise. Their defense is okay, but again, Jacksonville don't really scare anybody. And everyone else is either 1-2 or 0-3 in the AFC, including yours truly, Miami Dolphins. Now, I don't want to get caught up. The point is, the Dolphins are a game back. I don't like it. The reason I don't like it is because once I looked at this, I got to thinking, if they win against the Jets, which is not out of the realm of possibility, they're 1-3, and really right in the middle of this AFC that is completely wide open. Now, that being said, I don't want to get caught up. Yep, Chiefs are 1-2, Ravens are 1-2. I'm not buying into that. I'm not. They will be there in the end. The Chiefs and the Ravens are going to be in the playoffs. But do you think Cincinnati's going to be there? No. Buffalo, absolutely, they're going to be there. Indianapolis, I think they're legit. I think they're good. San Diego, legit, good. Pittsburgh, no idea. Don't know what they are. Can't figure it out. You've already got Rodgers complaining, and so who knows what direction that's fixing to go. Jacksonville, nobody really expecting them, so they don't scare me as far as that goes. And then you have Denver, who has a great defense, but seem to be that opposite spectrum right now. They're finding a way to lose games. Could they very well be 2-1? Easily, they could be 2-1, and I can't remember the other game. So if it was a close game, and I do not remember it off the top of my head, maybe even 3-0 for them. But when you look at this, all of a sudden, a win against the Jets puts Miami at 1-3. Then they head to Carolina. That's a winnable game. 2-3. Now the Chargers are going to bring us back down to earth. I have no question about that. But the point is, there could be a stretch here that the Dolphins could blindside us. And it's a warning. That's all I'm saying. It's a warning. Don't get caught up in it, because I'm going to. This is a parent telling their children, do as I say, not as I do. I would absolutely get caught up in it. That's who I am. I'm always going to root for the Dolphins. I would love for Tua to have a breakout and be able to carry this team, even though I don't think that is the kind of quarterback that Tua is. Which I'll make that comment as well. That everybody roasted him, including me, as far as, that the interception in the Bills game absolutely crushed us. And he's done it over and over again lately. But it's so funny because then Sunday, the very first drive for the Rams, Matthew Stafford throws nearly the same type of interception on the left side. It's just a sit down. He throws, does not see the linebacker, boom. Eagles get the interception. And then I'm watching highlights of the Browns and Packers game. What do I see Jordan Love do? The exact same interception on the left side. did not see the linebacker whatsoever, and just boom, intercepted. Horrible interception. So was Tua's. Not really defending it. I'm just saying, everybody keeps talking about, it's almost that Tua, he's making these mistakes. I'm just saying, everybody wanted us to have Jordan Love. He made the same mistake Sunday. Matthew Stafford could very well be a Hall of Famer, made the same mistake Sunday. So, push the brakes just a little. Now, is Tua playing great? No, he's not. But that's not the type of quarterback he is. And I still think you can win with that type of quarterbacks. Teams have been doing it for years. The Eagles are doing it now. Because nobody's going to come on here and tell me that Jalen Hurts is the one-all quarterback. He's just not. But you don't have to be. He's good. I don't know if he's... I know he's not top 5, in my opinion. He may be in top 10. I'd have to really sit down and look at the quarterbacks. Is he better than Tua? Absolutely. That's not my point. But he's not a guy that... He's not going to put the team on his shoulders and carry them. Okay? He had a great Super Bowl. Defense won that Super Bowl. You know, plain and simple. But he has a great team around him. Joe Montana had a great team around him. Could he throw it 80 yards? No. There is tons of these quarterbacks that are considered elite. And in their own way, they are. But you don't have to be Dan Fouts, Warren Moon, Dan Marino to be elite. Justin Herbert, if you want to bring Justin Herbert up. There's very few quarterbacks that can put the team on their back. As a matter of fact, today, there's two. Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes. And people are going to come at me with Lamar Jackson. I have not seen that. Is he an awesome player, a great player? Is he an elite player? Absolutely. What he can do with his arm, what he can do with his legs. But when it comes down to push comes to shove, putting the team on your back, I've watched him not do it as much as I have seen him do it. We've seen it this year in 2 games. Does that make him a horrible quarterback? No. Can they win a Super Bowl with Lamar Jackson? Absolutely. But in my mind, there's 2. Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes. The only 2 quarterbacks that can put their team on their back and just carry them. And sometimes has to. Pat's going to have to do it a lot more this year because that team looks rough on offense. At least until they get some wide receivers out of jail. Back. So, that being said, and I'm sorry I went on a tirade, but that was basically what this is about, is because there is a chance for the Dolphins to kind of come out of this hole, and it scares the living daylights out of me because I'm over it as well. I want McDaniel gone. I want Greer gone. Do I want Tua gone? No. Should he be gone? Yes. He absolutely should. We have no future there. We have to move on and get another quarterback. The other reason is because of his injuries and stuff. He's already been in the league. I only see him being maybe 5 more years that you're going to get out of Tua before there's going to be a lot more diminishing qualities. So we still need to move on from Tua. Do I love him? Do I want to see him do well? I do. I really do. But it's not happening. It's not going to happen. I would love to see all 3. I'd love to see 2 of them gone. 1 just needs to go because we need to think about future. And I am terrified that if the Dolphins make whatever run that they might make, because we have some winnable games over the next few weeks, really other than the Chargers, we have winnable games. And I'm so afraid that Ross is going to look at this as positive. It's not positive. This team has went down every year. This defense looks horrible. Now, did they play better against the Bills? They did. Can they find their footing and start actually rushing the passer? Because we're not going to stop anybody with our defensive backs. It's all on our front end. And I have no idea where Jalen Phillips is. I don't know what the defensive coordinator is doing with Jalen Phillips. He's in coverage a lot. I know they're trying to get him and Chop and Chubb together on the field, and I understand that. Jalen Phillips is not a cover linebacker. So I don't know how this is working. It's one of those, maybe we need to trade Jalen Phillips. I think before the season's over, there's going to be a lot of trades, but definitely Jalen Phillips is going to be one of them. With his injury history and what he's doing this year, which is absolutely nothing. Chop and Chubb are the only two on that front end that is really doing anything. And Chubb won't be here because of his age, so they would trade him. So a lot of things can happen there. But the defense, if something happens, they pull themselves together. And the offense can run the football, because you're not the 80s Dolphins. That is not what your offense is. Run the ball. Let Tua pick and choose. Run the ball. If this stuff aligns, then all of a sudden you have a team that's back at 500. All of a sudden, well, McDaniel's not so bad. Look, Greer brought in these players. Tua is playing good enough. And now we're missing out on drafting a quarterback, at least early. And we're going to be stuck with McDaniel and Greer. And we're going to do this all over again next year. Same Dolphin time, same Dolphin channel. So, as much as I will be rooting, I will never root for the Dolphins to lose. Because the draft is not final. There's too many Ryan Leafs. So I don't... if you really want to do your job, find that Tom Brady, late round. Find Joe Montana was a second round pick. There's plenty of quarterback. You don't have to have top 5 pick to get a quarterback. And it annoys me that that's the way everybody looks at it. If you look over the last few years, there's as many busts at quarterback as there is accomplishments. So I don't buy into that. I will always root for my team. It has nothing to do with that pick. It has to do with what you do with the pick that you get, which the Dolphins have not done well. But there's plenty of teams that have. And that's what matters. It's not where you pick. It's who you pick. And so I will always be rooting for the Dolphins. That being said, I will be one of those that will be looking at that false hope with my own voice in the back of my head. So don't fall for it. But if we beat the Jets, I got a feeling that it's coming. That little bit of hope. Because that's what the Dolphins do. They give you just enough hope to start getting that tingling sensation in your body that maybe we're turning the corner. Maybe we're figuring it out. Just to absolutely rip your heart out and you realize, no, they're the same exact team they were 4 weeks ago. They're the same exact team they were last year. So the warning label's up. I have told you, because if you look at the AFC, it is wide open to the playoffs. We are one game behind, and we haven't won a game. And we are one game behind the rest of the NFL. That scares me. So I will be coming out with my preview of the Dolphins-Jets game. Probably Saturday, maybe Saturday. I may even go ahead and put it together later today. If I do, then I'll probably put that out tomorrow. But either way, because I've pretty much got that together. Either way, I will be doing the Jets-Dolphins preview for Monday night. I'm hoping I'll get to watch that ball game because I do not have ESPN, but I've seen somewhere that it may be on YouTube, which I actually do have the YouTube package. So hopefully I'll get to watch it. And then we will absolutely break down probably Tuesday morning, depending on what I'm doing after the game. I'll have to work that Tuesday morning, so I'll need to get in bed. It's a late game, so it'd be hard to get anything out. So it's probably going to be Tuesday afternoon before I get a video out to you about how the game goes. But the preview I will try and have out within the next day or two. So, guys, make good decisions, and Finn's future, baby.